Hey folks, good evening to everyone, those who are joining this stream. Today we are going to talk about introduction to Azure SignalR Services. Basically, Azure SignalR Services is a fully managed service that basically allows developers to focus on building real-time and web experiences and with a lot more things about this. And today we have our expert speaker, Mr. Jalpesh Vadgama sir. He'll be giving you more insights about the SignalR services, and he is Microsoft MVP, so he's the perfect person to guide you on this. So over to you, Jalpesh sir.
Thank you very much, Lakshit. So let me share my screen so you can get an idea. So can you see my screen? Lakshit, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir,
Thanks for.
it's visible.
Okay, let me start. So first of all, thank you very much for joining this event. So basically here we are going to learn how we are going to build a real-time applications with Azure SignalR Service. Okay. And thank you, Reskil and Rohit, Sarthak and Lakshit and our whole team. Like they are doing very good job of creating community related to Azure, and I hope that like it will go further and like we will be having great community with these people. Like they are the backbone of this particular community. So thank you, Reskill, sorry, for this opportunity. So first, let me talk about my thing. So I do have more than 50 years of experience in web development, cloud solutions, and enterprise grade applications. Uh, I own a small startup called Futures Tech Solution where we provided lots of consulting and like we do custom projects for our client. I have been awarded Microsoft MVP multiple times, and currently I am a MVP in Visual Studio and Development Technologies. I am also a active member of Ahmedabad User Group, and we are also kind of a user group where we are organizing uh, uh, this kind of event. Then I do have my own blog, and like my blog is also top 60 .NET blogs in the world, and I have also got awarded as the Zone Most Valuable Blogger, and this is my YouTube channel. So there I am posting some of the videos like this. So uh, before going into agenda, like does anyone have idea about the uh, SignalR service? Like if Lakshit, do we have chat feature here or comments? Yeah, we do have comments feature. So how many of you have got any idea about the ASP.NET SignalR service? Anyways, let's start. So like this is the agenda. Like basically nowadays real time is a requirement, right? Like our share market or Bitcoin exchange, these are the great examples of real-time application, and they deliver like all this data on the fraction of like a second. So we are going to see what kind of real-time applications are there, and we are going to see the evolution of web. Okay, then we are going to see WebSocket, which is a kind of a new technology, and how it is being used in the SignalR. Then we are going to little bit know about the Azure SignalR service, and then we are going to have some demos and questions and answers. So basically, we are going to like this is a introductory section. So basically, here we are going to learn about the SignalR and evolution of web. Okay, so as I told you, like real-time applications are everywhere, right? Whether you have, if you are using Microsoft Office 365 or uh, you can say Google Docs, then like you can see like the other people are editing documents on the real time. Then like then there are a couple of applications where we can see the real-time location based checking, like for example, Uber. So here you can find information about your cab. Then we do have in-app notifications. We all familiar with that. Like if somebody puts comments on your Facebook or Twitter post, or they reply to you, then you will get instant notification. Then we do have stocks prices, as I told you, like uh, our share market or our stock market, and nowadays the crypto exchanges, which are having a real-time data, right? And if you don't provide real-time data at a scale, like it is going to be disaster, because like if I'm bidding for a prize and uh, it it will show that price after 2 or 1 minute or like a lag, then there is going to be a problem, right? So that's why we do have uh, SignalR and other technologies exist. Then we have light dashboards. So here, like kind of it, you can say example is the traffic dashboard. So most of the people are aware that like our police is also now equipped with the real-time traffic updates and everything. Then online games. So there are lots of games there where we need this kind of application, right? So for that, or for this all kinds of scenario, we need a real-time applications. And what are the ways to create the real-time application? So before going into the real-time applications, we are going to see how we reach to this particular era, right? Earlier, like there was nothing there with earlier there was nothing there with web. So like we were having some uh, interval so first thing, like in the first thing, like we earlier there was no real time indication or notification. So at that time what we were doing is we used to refresh page manually to get the refresh version of this page, right? And I am from that era. Like when I started my career, like there was very less facilities available, and we were using CDs to install Visual Studio, and there was no online help available. We used to search in MSDN on the CD drive, and then like we were trying to figure out the document. So earlier, like we were manually refreshing that. Then there was a evolution there, like W3 standard had provided a refresh meta tag. So what it will do is like it will refresh at the regular period of time, right? So that was a refresh tag. Then the JavaScript evolution has been done. So we have set interval functions, call to Ajax, like all this stuff, cool stuff uh, were there. Like so, here we can set the timer, but it is also not 100% real time, right? It was also asking data at the particular time interval, but it was not 100% real time. So user has to wait for that particular interval, and that was causing lots of problem. So what is the solution, right? Because if we are going to lose data, now you can see like data is all about money, right? If we are going to lose packets and data for that particular moment, there is going to be a problem, right? If I am bidding on some bidding site, and if I lose that particular price where I wanted to bid, then it's going to be a very big problem. So that's why W3 has done W3 Council people has invented a new thing, and that is called WebSocket. So WebSocket is a real-time communication protocol, right? And here, basically, like it is a, a protocol for communicating in background and in real time. So, uh, so before going into detail into the WebSocket, uh, we are going to see what was the problem with the HTTP. So that HTTP is a half duplex protocol, right? So at the single point of time, the traffic will flow only on the one direction. So if I request something, right, or if I refresh something, it will request page from the server, and that request goes to web server, and then it will come back to again to into the browser, right? So so at that time, like, it was creating a problem because like it will add the latency, and its performance was dependent on the server and the browser which you are using, and that was causing a problem, like uh, same as the earlier, like it was not a scalable option, and we need to do something about it. So that's why the WebSocket was introduced. So it is a W3 standard protocol for two-way communication. Okay, and it uses WebSocket. So kind of a socket created into the background, and then it will allow to communicate with that. So either you can send data to that particular WebSocket, or you can subscribe to that WebSocket and get this data. So it's a full duplex communication channel. So you can send data and you can also receive data. And now it's a raw socket, so it uses TCP protocol. So we don't have any limitations of the HTTP, where like there will be some latency, and it is a full duplex communication channel. So like it will directly connect with the another WebSocket or your hub, or in terms of SignalR, and it will get those data. So that is the idea behind the WebSocket. Okay. So till now, all clear. Like, is there any comments or question there? Otherwise, we can go ahead and start with the signal.
No, sir, there is no question as so far.
Okay, fine.
No queries, sir.
Okay, no problem. So I'll move to next slide. So now we have got WebSocket, right? So what are the options we have for that WebSocket? So right now there are two very popular options there. Like if you are using Node.js, right? Then there is a framework called Socket.io, which support WebSocket, right? And in ASP.NET we have SignalR. So SignalR also does support the WebSocket thing, right? So how the ASP.NET core Signal has been evaluated. So, do you know there is a guy called David who worked in a Microsoft and who was doing this kind of research. And one day he figured out that we need to create some kind of a open source thing which will communicate with WebSocket, and that's how the Signal how was introduced, right? And then he created a basic prototype of like where like a simple chat or something like that, and then Microsoft got interested into that, and and then Microsoft has widely like invested things on that part. So basically, SignalR is a open source library which are uh, which are having functionalities of real-time functionalities, right? Uh, as I told you, like it's a full duplex one, so it supports bi-directional server to client and client to uh, uh, server communication. Then it's sending message to all group of clients. So as I told you, like if I have I, if I right now, like this is the same example, like in StreamYard we are streaming this event, right? So you can see all these steps into your browser directly. So like whatever client or whatever peoples are joined in this particular event can see all these stuffs. So like same way, like it is sending all the messages to all group of clients. Same the another thing is WebSocket. So it's provide like a WebSocket and long pulling transport support. So long pulling transport support is something where like you can wait for a WebSocket to start streaming, and it will pull like it will poll that WebSocket until the data is received. And as I told you, like this event is all about Azure SignalR Service. So this uh, application can be scaled with Redis or SQL Server or SignalR Service, right? So there is a JavaScript client. So these all are the client frameworks. So SignalR does provide client libraries and other clients. So right now it's having following clients. So there is a JavaScript client which we are going to use in our application. There is a .NET client, so you can have that SignalR into your .NET application as a NuGet package, and then you can consume any WebSocket thing. Then there is a Java client, and right now they are also providing C++ and Swift client also. Uh, I think now it is out of beta, but still it is very experimental. Okay, so till now, like we were not going into technical details, but now the technical detail starts, right? So SignalR do have hubs. So hub is the heart of this SignalR application, where it provides a way to send and receive messages from the client connected to our SignalR server. And this SignalR hub is like publicly available. So like in our case, we are also going to, I have already created a application there and created a hub, right? And then from there, we are going to connect it from the JavaScript client and see what are the things we can do. And like as I told you, like here in the left side, you can see in this particular code there is a send message code, right? So here we have string, whatever the user is and the message. And in the so here you can see like it is sending all client this received message, right? And that's how we are going to communicate. So let me go directly jump into the code itself and show you the hub. So here you can see there is a real-time hub there, okay? And here I have created a timer method which provides streaming. So it will start the streaming. So it will create the channel, and that particular channel will have that hub running. And then we are providing this method write dates, and what it will do is it will write the seconds and fractions of seconds with the delay of 10 microseconds. Okay, so this is the hub, and we are going to see how we are going to use that into application. uh, we are going to see it in detail. But first, let's see Azure SignalR services. So now you got all these technologies, right? You got WebSocket, you got frameworks to support all these stuffs. But when it comes to scalability, right? So if you have your legacy servers, and sometimes what happens is like you can have some period of time. So for example, right now you guys are watching and streaming this service, right? So StreamYard is streaming those things, and right now there are lots of users there. But when we don't have event, there is no user, right? So scaling and descaling is important. So like if you have your legacy servers, then if you scale without uh, without having that much user, then it's a very expensive solution, right? You invested in your RAMs and hard disk and all these steps. So that's why the services like Azure SignalR service, which is comes into picture, right? So let's say he this is kind of a pay as you go model, right? So whenever you need this particular services, you can start that services, and if you don't want, then you don't need to use it, and you are going to pay whatever you use. So there are some characteristics of or initial feature set of Azure SignalR services. So we are going to talk about that. So in that, like basically it is same as ASP.NET Core SignalR services. It is inherited from the ASP.NET Core SignalR services, but the only thing is it is introduced as a Azure service, so you can scale things, like you can increase the size of the service and few other stuffs. So same functionality is there, but at the scale, like it can support like lakhs of client at single point of time. So what are the things available there in Azure SignalR services? Same, all the transport protocol and platform supported, same as the ASP.NET Core SignalR. Then we have real-time directional messaging via hubs. So hub is also there, so you don't need to change lots of code. I am going to show you that demo also. First, we are going to create a signal, simple signal application, and then we are going to use it with the Azure SignalR. Okay, and then we have authentication and authorization, like all the standard authentication and authorization has been supported. And basically you can use any method like Azure Active Directory or your own Active Directory, ASP.NET Core Identity, or OpenAuth, whatever is there, it is supported, like same as the SignalR. Then connections and user group management. So as I told you, like you can scale those things at runtime, and you don't need to write a single piece of code for that. Okay, and right now it's providing JavaScript and Java client, of course, and .NET client is already there. But like there are a couple of clients that are going to be available within a month, I would say, because they are readily testing lots of stuff like a Swift client for iOS. Then there are a couple of other technologies they are developing, like there is a Go language client also there coming. So then another thing is the tooling, right? So it provides all kind of ARM support. It also provides this CLI provision. So basically, like in Azure, there is Azure CLI. From that CLI, you can like stop, start, like you can increase the scale, you can decrease the scale. All these steps can be done. You can also manage it from Azure portal. Then, as I told you, like there are SDKs and libraries available. So basically, in terms of ASP.NET, there is NuGet packages are there. If you are using Node.js, then there are npm packages there. Same way, there are like couple of open source packages available for Go, Rust, and few other languages. Then it comes to performance and scaling. So it is uh, based on the Redis architecture in the Azure. So like it has got tremendous amount of scaling capability. You even can't imagine. And like if you are willing to spend money, like you can scale with thousands or lakhs of users. Then there is a automatic load balancer available, right? Then there are availability of multiple regions. So in Azure, there is something called regions where like it will provide service from that particular region. So um, if suppose I select Southeast Asia, right? So it will provide me services from the data center into the Southeast Asia. Then there is a service layer agreement. So 90.99 uptime is there, and uh, you can say like there is very optimal latency which you can't even notice is there on the server side. So like you can say it is very efficient. So now we are going to see some of the demos, but before going into that, do we have any questions or comments till now? Lakshit, do we have any questions? Okay. Then let me go directly into that. So before going into my own demo, I wanted to show you something interesting. Okay. So this is the streamer application, and there is a GitHub repository for that also there. Okay. Basically, what it is doing is, if I put my name here, and if I start streaming, it is going to check my webcam, and here you can see like this is my live, and it is showing my picture on the library runtime. So if I do my head like this, like it is doing same thing, right? So here you can see like it is there in real time application. Okay. Then there is a guy called Anthony Chu who created the applications with the SignalR, and it is a real-time translator, right? So let me show it to you also. So don't worry about the all the links that is already provided there. So here you can see this guy is talking with English, and it is getting converted into Japanese. So these are the languages right now supported. So basically, what he has used is Azure SignalR. Then there is speech to text and translation packages available from the Microsoft uh, open source things. So here you can see like there is an npm package for speech SDK and a few other stuffs, right? Then like this is the all technical stuff which we are not going to show in the detail, but let me show you this YouTube thing so you will get an idea.
All right, so I'm going to get started by hitting the start button over here. And then shortly what's happening, this browser, I have some JavaScript running in there that is using the browser's audio API to pick up my voice and send that off to the cloud to Azure's cognitive services, where it's
So basically here it is talking into the live, and then at that time it's creating this particular speech to text translation into real time, and this all are the clients. So what it is going to do is like
being transcribed from speech to text, as well as being live translated to multiple languages that I have selected. And then it's sending those translations back down to the browser, where obviously it's being displayed. And at the same time, the browser is calling out to an Azure function to send these translations off to a service called Azure SignalR Service. And SignalR Service connects to a bunch of clients.
So these all things are coming real time, right? So from one side he's speaking, and all these people are there who are listening. It is translating
Potentially from around the world over WebSockets. And here I have a couple of browsers that are connected and listening in on our broadcast. And you can see that both of them are currently viewing in English.
Yeah.
I can go ahead and change this one over to Spanish, and maybe this one over to Japanese. And as I keep talking, you can see that they are each independently receiving the.
So now here you can see like they have changed the language, and now it's real in real time. It is like translating whatever the guy is speaking with that. So that is called a caption
translation that they have chosen. And I can go ahead and change this one to, let's do Korean. And as I keep speaking, it's now going to start receiving in Korean.
So,
and this is all really easy to build. I've written this all up in a blog.
So this is the scalability and the capabilities of Azure SignalR services. So this is the things he has used. So basically, he has used Azure Cognitive Services. Okay, and here they are providing all the speech and translated related APIs. Then he have used server functions, Azure functions. So this is like a serverless thing there. So you can write Azure functions as a API. Then he has used SignalR service to scale it, and this all languages are supported, right? So this is all the SignalR CLI APIs. Okay, and here is the source code if you guys are interested in that. Okay, So you can get the all these steps there, as I told you. So now let's directly jump into the code which I created. Like I basically created a very small or simple demo, so you guys can have a idea. Okay, so basically like this is a ASP.NET Core app. This is a ASP.NET 2.2 app. Okay, and I have used few NuGet packages. One is this one, SignalR one, and another one is the Microsoft Azure SignalR one. Okay, so these are the new get packages we require. Then now let's go into the startup file. As you know, like in ASP.NET Core, we do have startup file, right? And there you have some bunch of configurations there. So basically here in the configure services section, we are going to use add signaler right now. Then we are going to see other stuffs. Okay. And here we are going to use the signaler for that particular application, right? And this is our hub, the real-time hub, right? So here, what I am going to do is like there are two methods: start timer and write date. So start timer is what is it is doing. It is like it is starting the broadcasting of that particular stuff, and write date will do all the date manipulations, and it will provide the uh, uh, right like it will supply the current date with the fractions of the seconds, right? And it is delaying into milliseconds, like 10 milliseconds. So it will be pretty fast. Okay. Now we are going to see what we are using in the client side. So basically, you can see like it's a ASP.NET Core Azure Pages app, right? So here we have index.cs HTML, and this is the CS file. So I don't have anything there. I have just added two things. One is the SignalR. This is the SignalR client provided by Microsoft. So I have put it that under the SignalR file, and you can find that a library available itself. And if you add the NuGet package, then it will directly have. Then there is a stream.js which I created. Okay, so this is the standard avatar thing there. So this is a Babel Js implementation. So what it will do is like it will await uh, till the real time data come. So here this part is the main code which is we need to focus on. So here you can see like I have got that stream button, right? So here you can see I have got this button, and this is the input button. And then what I have done is I have created a click event. Okay, and then I have put it that avatar. And what I am connecting to particular stream, it is the start timer. So what it will do is like it will start. So once I click on this particular button, it will start streaming those data, right? And then here you can see like I have connected to my real-time hub, right? So basically what it will do is it will create all these steps into like it will connect a WebSocket to my real-time hub, and then it provides all this data. So is it clear? Actually, like I am not getting any feedback, so I don't know like whether it's clear. whether it's understandable to you guys or not. But let me go ahead. So basically here, what it is done is like it is subscribed to this particular event, right? And whatever data we receive from that particular server. So like every time this next method is called, we'll receive this data. So whatever real-time hubs provides the data, right? Whatever written has been done, it will provide it to here. Like so, every time we receive something data, some data, like this next method will come. And here, what I have done is like I have put it that particular date from the server. So this is the my span. So very basic JavaScript code, right? And once you have that completed, like you will get the complete event, and if there is any error, it will give me the error message. And like this is for like stopping the event bubbling in the JavaScript. Okay, so now let's run this application and see how it's going to work. So it's building the okay. So now if you start streaming, here you can see like it's loading this particular section on real time, right? And if you see into the toolbar, right, this is the WebSocket connected, right? Here you can see like I have same um, URL which is with the real time, and this is the unique client ID given to this particular step. So now I can create many objects of same thing, right? You can see like it is replacing all this stuff same time, right? And all these are connected with the same WebSocket. So if I do here, here you can see like the only thing is the ID is the client ID is the different. The rest all things are there. And here in this particular, you can see there is no Ajax call, right? It is directly connected with the WebSocket, and whatever WebSocket data we are getting is there. So this is the WebSocket URL, right? So this is a pretty basic code, right? Now we want to use a Azure Web Service. So let's directly jump into the Azure portal. Okay. So from here, you can find the Azure SignalR services. Here you can see, right? So right now I have already created one, but you can create it from here, right? So from here, you need to put your subscriptions there. Then you need to provide your SignalR service name. Then the regions. So right now, like there are tons of regions available there. So I think for us, like India falls into Southeast Asia, so we are going to use that. Then there are unit counts and what are the modes you want to use, like whether you want to go for serverless. So that particular real-time application use serverless stuff, but we are so basically like we are going to use it in our ASP.NET Core app, but you can use this SignalR services uh, with the other stuffs also, like Azure functions or okay. So next thing is like this networking part. So there are two things available. Like there is a public endpoint. So public endpoint means it can connect to anybody, like anybody who is using this. And if we have private, then we need to provide some more details there. Okay. So here you can see like you need to provide the DNS and few other stuff related to networking. Then next there is a tag, okay, and then you can create your application. Okay, so for saving time, I have already created this one. Okay, so here you can see there is some activity there, right? And this is the connection strings. So here you can see like this is my connection string, right? And that is so there are only two things which we need to change here. Instead of using a simple SignalR, we need to do Azure SignalR, right? And here we are going to use add SignalR, okay? Add Azure SignalR, and then we need to provide that connection string. That's it. Like if you got this particular package, you don't need to go change any other code, right? And if I now run that particular application, like it will use the right now. If you see here, you can see it is using the Azure SignalR services instead of our local one, right? So it's very easy to integrate into any SignalR app, right? You just need to change two minor things in the startup file. Rest your all the code will work as it is. There is no change required to this particular thing. So that's it from my side, guys. So it's now the question and answer time. So let me know any questions from you guys. Lakshit or anybody from the support team. Do we have any questions? So I'll wait for a few moments to have any questions. So let me know if there is any questions or comments or in the chat. Okay, guys. So that's it. Thank you for having me as a speaker. So these are the few credentials that I have. This is my company name. This is my blog. This is my Twitter handler if you want to follow. This is my YouTube channel. So I would request you to join this particular YouTube channel. That way, it gives me motivation to create more videos. And this is all the LinkedIn and email stuff. Okay, so thank you, Reskill, for having me, and I would love to be part of this particular great Azure developer community. Thank you for having me. Bye for now. Okay, so these are the credentials of me. So this is my company. As I told you, I have co-founded a small company. Then there is my blog. This is my Twitter handler, and this is my YouTube channel. So please do subscribe to my YouTube channel for having this kind of videos. And I do also some basic videos there. This is the demo link or the GitHub repository. This is my email, and this is my LinkedIn. Uh, so you can contact me anywhere if you guys have any questions. So I think that's it, guys. Uh, Thank you for having me, and it was nice talking to you guys. I'll Okay. Thank you, Anamika. Bye for now. And still, if you guys need any questions or anything, you can contact me. Not a problem.